Okay, so we're here on Wednesday, 27th of March. And this time, when we know that April's upon us, it really kind of kicks into a roll of the year. I had that feeling today. And as I was looking through some notes that I saved, I had this piece saved from a text called Sad Darshanam. Sad Darshanam was an exposition written by the great Ramana Maharishi, or some people say Ramana Maharshi. He was a great sage who lived in Tiruvannamalai in India on the holy mountain Arunachala. And he realized who he was at a very young age, and just was a great saint. And so one of the translations of this book, as you can sit and listen, and then we'll go into sort of experiencing how words that we use in these teachings are meant to be like a mirror. We need a mirror to see ourselves, especially our bodies, everything. The eyes can't see themselves. So, but it's very hard you can't actually see the self. We can't see consciousness because it's everything that we have, our instruments are grosser than consciousness. Consciousness is even more subtle than our minds. It's like we can't see our minds. So we need words, and the Vedanta is like a word mirror to understand, to know, to see ourselves through words. Imagine a light that was shining before the world began. This light never started shining and will never stop shining. This light never started shining and will never stop shining. It shines on its own. That immortal light is you. Existence shining as awareness. Vedanta reveals it. The Vedanta is just a Sanskrit word meaning self-knowledge. For this light of lights is aham anubhuti. Aham anubhuti. Aham is I am. Anubhuti, the light of all lights. You shine, meaning you are aware. But you are not doing one blessed thing to be aware. You were shining when your body appeared here, and you are shining when it disappears. In pitch darkness, you shine. You shine when your mind bounces light onto the world in the waking state, and it shines when your mind is not present in sleep. When you have received this precious teaching, you will confidently proclaim, I shine, and everything shines after me. The I sense or I thought seemingly arises from the self-shining I, consciousness, awareness. This I experience is not a special experience that only famous people like Buddha, Ramana, and Shankara are capable of. but it is the experience of everyone. These luminaries just knew it. So every day we take our minds off of things that are unhelpful and put them back to what is always good. Knowledge what is knowledge is what is always good. You can count on it. Learning to trust in life with the help of knowledge. Even with our physical bodies here, we can understand the five elements in their processes in action. And feel the weight of the earth holding the earth element in your body down. And the water element flowing through your veins with the blood, all the liquids, everything. And the fire and the heat and the light in your eyes. The air in your lungs. You can feel it on your skin. Pervaded by space. To contemplate on the pervasiveness of space. Imagine it's not like if you get up or sit down from one chair to another, that the space poofs or kind of moves or morphs out to accommodate you. And we don't box it in with the walls. as we come toward the end of this meditation, choosing somewhere to rest your hands. Fire will always be hot, water always wet, sugar always sweet. Everything here has its dharma, has its duty. And when I see this inherent benign nature of life and my place in it, I can sit back, relax, go about my duty effortlessly, with much less worry. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's begin with, we can begin with the core integration once again. It's such a great place to start and work from there. Maybe invite a bit more opening for the shoulders and hips, kind of sprinkled in throughout. So finding the floor, the back body. Take a moment to elongate spine, back of the neck. Inviting some deeper breaths in, feeling all your areas that kind of call and speak to you. As we awaken through the feet, through the fingers, even bringing sensation around the face. And let's begin just first with some supine cat-cow. So all I've even started to do, which feels really good, is open up the feet, sort of pressing the feet firmly into the ground, squeezing them down, and feeling my lower back flatten. I'm doing it super slow, and then the back of the neck lengthens, chin folds in, making a lot of space in the lumbar curve. So this really flattening out of your spine. Now drag your feet towards your body. You feel that roll on your spine, like your tailbone wants to come up to the back of the neck. Let's see what happens there in the shoulders. Maybe your head rolls back or just moves a little through the back of the neck. Same thing, spread out the feet, really spread across the toes. Squeeze them right down into the ground. And make that deep, deep, deep impression with your back line. Feel how that curve kind of travels up the spine. With a few of these, you might even feel yourself stretching out. Maybe you think, oh, great, I'm getting more space through the vertebra. Probably what we all notice because we've been practicing yoga for so long that every day we're craving these openings. We know that the space is there, and we know through time or through sleep, through what we do, that the fascia gets tight again. And we see the animals waking up from sleep, they stretch, they do that kind of, that reachy
yawny stretch. So it's so great to just have that really subtle, fine-tuned sort of attention to start your practice. And then bring your hands in alongside you. Now remember, you can take the back of the hands to the seat, to the sacrum, and sometimes it's even nice to feel what that's like, whether you use them or not. That sense of your sacral ridge. And we lift the shins up off the mat. Start to hover the shins. Take a few point and flexes. See what changes come into the lower back, lower belly. Keep the feet, toes pointed. Keep your shoulders heavy, back of the head down, and start to press out through one leg and drawing it back in. And keep that going. You might even feel the crisscross lines in the mid body, working diagonally through the belly, one side of the ribs to the opposite side of your hips. Keep opening across your chest. Chin gently rolling in. Squeeze a little through your inner thighs. And watch that the lower back really wants to get down. Low belly coming in. Give a little squeeze of the outer hips into center when one leg reaches long. Work that subtle kind of gentle heat building. Oh, and then let the feet step down. You can open the arms out wide and just roll the knees a little side to side, playing with a bit more opening, some deeper torsion. Interlacing hands behind the head. We let the elbows really just spread out, and that can be even a little bit of work for the chest shoulder area. And as we hover the shins once more, try to feel the back body. Feel the toes, even the fingers, elbows, so we're whole body integration. Take a breath in and begin to rise up with the head and shoulders, thinking of a more upright lift with the elbows. And then left elbow to right knee, and get so out to the side with the elbows. Really kind of reaching over with the upper body, pulling it back, breath in. Lower back down, other side, giving a big extended reach. Toes are pointed, navel down, inhale back to center. Relax the head and face, take the reach. Feel the turn all the way through the belly, back to center. Big breath in, pull the belly down. Find the reach, toes are active, one more. To the side, balance it out, right to left, all the way back down and relax. And if you get on your mat on your own in the day, layering these in bits and bobs, it's with the shorter practices, normally we do a lot of rounds in longer classes. I'm more partial to little snippets throughout the day. So knees into the chest, give yourself small little circles. Over to one side to press up. And finding a cross-legged seat. allowing the right ear to come over to the right shoulder. And feel what it's like, the balance all the way down, the tailbone lengthening. Right hand coming out to one side and scooping up the side of the neck, taking your left shoulder back in space. Breathing into those upper trapezius muscles, left side. Having a sense of the spine. Turning maybe angle of the chin. Maybe wrapping left hand behind the lower back. Scooping that in further. And then let's see if the left hand walks up your upper back, gently letting go of the head, maybe finding left fingertips with the right. Otherwise, just stay pressing left hand into the back, topping the head. And take a deep breath into both shoulders. Let your front ribs travel in and down, tailbone relaxing down. And we can get a side lean over to your left side. So right elbow reaching, going on that journey. Begin to circle forward, going easy. Wherever you are, holding the head. Small little sweeps around. Using your breath. Next time you're back upright, gently release the hands. Let your arms come back beside you. Take a moment to feel left shoulder, right shoulder. As we let the left ear travel over toward the left side. Using your left arm, coming up to the back of the neck. So we really want to take this right shoulder away off the kind of front line, right into center. Draw your right scapula onto the back body. Just play with the back of the neck or angle of the chin. Maybe you tuck your right elbow onto the back. That might be enough, even just feeling where the forearm meets your lower back. And this can be where you stay here, always kind of supporting the head, feeling that. Or if you walk your right hand up the center of the back, you might clasp left fingers. And if not, stay supporting the head. And then we first lean over to the right side as we open up through your left ribs. Going into these curious spaces. And then begin to journey around, circling the opposite way. Feeling how the bind kind of has you in a bind, and you have to play into what the shape is sort of either opening or holding you into. As we come up, we release. And then let's come to tabletop. Take a moment to open the knees out. Let the big toes work behind you. Pressing the hips back, we go into this wide child's pose and separate the hands nice and wide. Little fingers to the edge of the mat and big spread between thumbs and index fingers. And just sense what you can under the collarbones, in the back of the neck, the lines of the hip creases, inner thighs, outer thighs. Maybe that press of the knees downwards, opening shins, calves. And then curl up through the tailbone, feeling that sort of curl in through the front body. Now when the shoulders come toward the wrists, maybe come onto the knees and start to lower the pelvis, relaxing the feet behind you into this wide sort of cobra up dog shape with the knees down. Letting the belly dip, slowly lifting chest up, maybe then opening the throat. Really press into the hands, inner elbows coming in as we lift up and back back to child's pose. Stretching through the side body, letting the chest go back toward the thighs. Coming up again, tailbone curling in, maybe your knees now are a closer distance. When you feel the shoulders come over the wrists, start to lower the pelvis. And then scoop the chest through the arms. And then roll it all back. This time you can tuck toes and start just by simply hovering the knees, pressing the chest back towards your knees. Stay low. Lower the knees, come forwards. Letting the belly dip, the chest roll through your arms. Press it all back, going toward child's pose with the toes tucked, chest toward the thighs, relaxing the head, ears in between your shoulders, and then begin to lift the hips a little higher. Making sure arms are even. Maybe sway the hips gently left to right. You start to have the center of the side body in space. Tucking the sternum in, lengthening the ribs back towards your thighs. And perhaps walking your feet in just an inch or two, so you can lift your hips a little higher, and then work one heel and the other down. And then into the backs of the legs. Feet in just a little bit more so the feet are on the ground. Then walk your hands back to the feet. And you're folding into your legs. Whether you want to hold elbows or let the arms kind of hang, dangle in space. Swaying it out, just slowly feeling our way into Uttanasana. If you have your hair tied up, sometimes it's even nice to get the fingers in the hair and pull the hair slightly. Ah. Let's find some halfway lifts. Let's, for this variation, bring the hands to the outer shins. You can even just give a little roll up your outer shins there. And keep the head and neck relaxed. You can even bring your hands into the center of the chest. Just touch that. Sometimes it's often kind of sore, this inner sternum point. Just so we know where we're moving from. And then move from that place, center of the chest, as we inhale. Neck relaxed, Ardha Uttanasana. Feel the hands press into the outer shins. Now your lower back strengthening. These can be soft any amount. We don't strain through head and neck. Gazes around the nose. Really feel what's happening in the spine. And now hands slide down the legs. Feel that hinge from your hips, emptying out the belly. And then maybe head toward the shins or the gaze to the navel. We establish the feet and the amount so we can feel all the feet, the inner ankles, the strong bones, pressing to the outer shins. Find that center of your sternum. Move the chest forward. Begin to extend. Bring that breath in. You feel the feet working. Now feel your lower back begin to strengthen. All these poses can take years and years to really feel into, to master. And fold once again, down and in. We gaze to the navel. This time, bend your knees so deep to come up, tucking tailbone so strongly. Chin into the throat, navel to spine, sternum pulling up back to the spine so you can roll up to stand. When you arrive, get the shoulders over your hips, begin to walk to the top of the mat. Let's inhale into chair. Hips sinking, arms up and overhead. Feel the shape through the body. Ribs coming in, tailbone working down, feet squeezing into the ground. Now fold over your legs. Exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. Right foot down the mat. Knee down, toes release. Exhale. Left hand to the left thigh. Right hand meets it as we come up. And let's spend a little moment here in the lunge. I like to roll my mat in sometimes if I'm staying in a lunge for some extra padding. Scooping left hand to the low back. Just have this sense here of what you feel in the midsection of your body. And right hand coming to the back of the head. So both shoulders essentially kind of opening for the chest to open here. And you might kind of lean back a little bit, see how that feels, supporting head in the hand, maybe looking up. We can extend the right arm and bring right elbow outside left thigh. Let your left hand cover right hand, making a fist or either prayer hand. See what falls to you. Now use your arms to get into the ribs and begin to turn the chest, the ribs, to your left side. The relationship with the head. Feel the connection of all the upper body meridians in your hands, into your heart, lungs. Slowly, slowly release. Let's frame front foot. We'll step it back to a downward facing dog. We even out a little, any movements that you need through the head, the shoulders, the hips. And then the right foot steps to the right thumb. It holds help it there. We lower the back knee, always roll in one side of the mat for extra padding. Right hand climbs to your right thigh, left hand follows. And feeling the differences even through the mid-body, shoulders. Scooping the right hand to your lower back, and the left hand to the back of the head. Feeling how this affects even through the sitting bones or the tops of the shoulders. Breathing in as you make more space through the neck. Beginning to lift the chest. So drawing lower belly in, but the chest lifting. And then perhaps just relaxing head into left hand. Tailbone rooting down. Using the legs. Extend up through your left arm. And then left elbow to the outside. of your right thigh. Now we've been making a fist or flat hands. What I notice sometimes is with the fist into the palm, you can get quite a nice sensation maybe into that lifted armpit, potentially as you massage one palm of the hand. And take a moment to really use your arms, beginning to turn the ribs, turn the chest. It might be just very different on this side. How are the sitting bones? Do you have space in your lower back? Ooh, let go of the rotation. This time we'll step it to a plank. Check you're nice and supported under your shoulders. In the plank, heels are going back. You can kind of even walk hands more under the shoulders, making sure the feet are hip distance. And try to feel your chest coming through your arms, but lifting front body into back. Play with the intensity for a moment. Use the bones, knees to the floor, bending elbows, laying down. As we lengthen the legs back, press into the toes, move hands a little forward. Begin to send your tailbone away, back towards your heels. And feel what happens in the legs. Press into the feet again, kneecaps lifting. Use your hands as your elbows work in toward the ribs. To open the chest, begin to send the chest through the arms. Feeling that rising up of cobra. All the bones working together. Draw the lower belly in. You just find your way into the shape that feels good to you. And then send the heart forwards and out as you lower down. Tuck the toes, hands framing the wrists, elbows really hugging into your side waist. Feel that squeezing through the shoulders. Pressing up and back, down dog, chest to the thighs, head relaxing. And the pelvis as high as you can imagine. Now imagine you could squeeze all the muscles throughout the entire spine, the entire back body. Keep the prana flowing in the spine. Then step the feet in slightly so they're grounded. We'll walk the hands once more back to the feet. Feel your sit bones lifted. And come to interlace the hands behind you. Rolling the shoulders off the chest, away from the ears. Just always one of my favorite shoulder openers. Gravity get into all that gnarly tissue in the shoulders. And release, bend the knees. So heel your feet out slightly as we come down to the squat. And anything you like here in the squat, some wrist releases. Sometimes even cupping the back of the head, elbows heavy. And then eventually hands coming behind the body. Walking the feet out. You probably have to come forward on your mat. As we cross left thigh over the right, feel the hips working. Even just lift, press into right foot, feel your hips lift, balancing out the hips in space with the thighs crossed. Move the hips out to the way a little bit and maybe knees over to your right side as you work into a different portion of the spine to release. Right hand can come to the ribs, maybe help your ribs stretch. And see if your left arm wants to relax by your side. You can even take a few sweeping circles of the left arm back behind you if you have the room there. And maybe roll. Rotations, the side bodies are so important for us to get into daily. Back into the middle. As we cross right thigh over left, even press into your left foot, lift your hips, and you can feel that imbalance, this wobble here. And you can steady your pelvis with your hands, but then move it. Purposely move it out to the right, going left. Opening up the arms, maybe even left hand to the right ribs as you feel that big reach and stretch, squeezing along your spine. You can circle that right hand up and overhead, taking that big journey. Releasing for the head and the neck as well. And we set up when you're ready to take a few moments to be still. Just to honor our little time together to complete the practice. Let the bones assimilate. Honoring all the circulation, all that prana. Just the deep reverence, the deep honoring that we do to life when we practice, when we inquire, when we're carving out the space for contemplation, honoring the beauty in a simple life, going against most grains of these days' norms. That dear inward knowing. It's called in the Gita the royal secret. Guyam. Nearer than the nearest, farther than the farthest. The self runs faster than the mind. And sit still in the cave of the heart. It's everywhere. The journey is the destination.
Feeling that all-pervading peace. Knowing that all-pervading peace. Being. So wondrous beings, lights of all lights. Leave you here to gracefully, fearlessly move into your day with that love that is the light of your own self. Beautiful Hanuman, beautiful Indra, anyone who watches this recording, beautiful you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.